My name is Raffaella, and I've been cosplaying for about 5 to 6 years at this point.
My name is Ashley. I go by Ash as well. Um, I go by she, they, she, her. Doesn't really matter. I've been cosplaying, I think, for 5 years now, since 2019. So I think that's five, I think.
My name is Carina Hansen. My Instagram and TikTok are both at Carina Danielle, and I have been cosplaying for, oh my god, I would say about 7, 8 years now.
My name is Dean Corzo. My username on most things is mostly void, partially stars 1312. I've been cosplaying for at least about 7 years now.
It was actually my cousin. My cousin was super into like cosplaying, and she told me what it was when I was super young. What made me officially want to do it was seeing basically just different people on social media and the internet, like dress up and go to conventions. I thought it was just super cool to like dress up as basically a character you really loved.
When I was the sixth, seventh grade, around there, I was shown anime for the first time through Tumblr. It was my first ever anime was Free Iwatabi Swim Club, and I was obsessed. I was like, "What is this? Like, how do I watch this?" I got into anime, and then I got into Attack on Titan, which was like my big thing. Everyone loved Attack on Titan. It was the best. And I saw that some of my other friends who were cosplaying, and I was like, I want to do that.
I think I started actually first going to just Comic Con without cosplay and just seeing other people dress up and just kind of getting into it from there. It also helps that my mom had a theater background and had experience with special effects makeup and all of that. So
I had gotten onto Vine at some point in my pre-adolescence, and I somehow stumbled upon a cosplayer, and I was like, "Whoa, this is so cool!" And around that same time, I got into anime, and I was like, "Oh, I want to be that character." And that character at the time was Lucy Hartfilia from Fairy Tale.
I've decided to do a lot more feminine cosplays. When I was in middle school and stuff, I leaned towards more male cosplays, but as I've gotten older, I guess I embraced my femininity and decided to start cosplaying more feminine characters. I 100% pick characters that I relate to. Misato Katsuragi from Neon Genesis Evangelion. Uh, that character is literally me. She is me. We even have the same MBTI thingy, whatever. So part of the reason why I think like we're very similar is because we have the like same personality type.
I cosplay Chun-Li because she was one of the like first like strong woman characters I was kind of introduced to as a kid. First, when I first was cosplaying, I was more like drawn towards bubbly characters more so. And the more that I went on, I was more towards like mysterious, quiet characters or characters that were super like goofy or just more of that sort. So it is a coping mechanism for me in a sort of way. So I like to choose characters that I relate to mostly. I cosplayed Mina Ashio from My Hero Academia. I really liked her just because we kind of both had the same background. Any other characters? I would say Mirko from My Hero as well. A lot of My Hero characters, just because she's more on the independent, strong side, and I was raised to be that way. So
I believe my first cosplay was Terezi Pyro from Homestuck. Definitely relatability because she's, I guess, one of the weirder characters, I'd say, from Homestuck. And I was always just kind of the weird kid growing up. So it just kind of, like, she just kind of caught my eye and I ran with it. for the most part, still kind of, I guess, the villains, the weirdos, the outcasts, or like the characters that people, I guess, in some ways love to hate. Kevin from Welcome to Night Vale, Shigaraki Tamura from Boku no Hero Academia.
But she was kind of like the first character where I was like, wow, it would be really cool to cosplay her because I admired parts of her character and personality that I kind of wish that I had. And then that kind of also plays into part with the character that really started my cosplay journey, Yang from Ruby. She was the first cosplay I ever did. And she basically was kind of like, to my like middle school mind, was the ideal person I wanted to be. I feel like before quarantine, because quarantine kind of reset the entire scene, I feel like, especially on social media, I feel like before quarantine, a lot of people were more like, oh, I really relate to this character and I want to kind of use them as an outlet to kind of like express myself, which is how I was when I first started and still am to this day, obviously. But I feel like now it's like a mix, but I would say a lot of people do cosplay characters that they do genuinely feel connected to because it's kind of like, sure, you want to look like hot and cute, but it's also like you're putting all this time and work into becoming a character. So you would think that they would have some kind of meaning to either you or somebody you know, in a sense.
Cosplay in general, it's just, I see it as just a big form, like just a way of expression almost. I guess I've seen a big driving factor for people to start cosplaying just because, especially in the beginning, there wasn't a lot to do. So people are, well, why not? Might as well pick it up. And then with the access of just being able to get supplies and things like that online ordered to your home, it definitely helps. It's like, of course, you'll always get a kind of mixed bag, but overall, I've seen positive direction, especially with the acceptance of like, I guess, diversity into the community. Because now, at least nowadays, I'm seeing more people of color cosplaying. I've seen more disabled people like myself and more queer people cosplaying, which is always, a great thing to see. And I guess what my kind of hope for all of this is that it'll continue to like trend like that and like get more diversity into it.
The cosplay community itself, especially now, is a little toxic. I know it's always been a little toxic, but specifically right now, it's really toxic. I think with the introduction to TikTok and cosplayers being on TikTok, it caused a lot of controversy with a lot of things. Like, if you don't fit this specific character, like if you don't look exactly like this character, then you can't cosplay them. And I think it's really, really, it's horrible. But then there are some elements of the cosplay community that have grown. I think majority is because a lot of the people in the cosplay community have grown up and have learned from their mistakes. I think there is a way that we can take all of this negativity and turn it into something more positive. I mean, look at the pandemic. Everyone was stuck. Everyone couldn't go anywhere. But as soon as conventions started opening up again, people were finally able to see people that they hadn't seen in years. And I feel like we're making so many more beautiful memories now. I just went to my first anime convention last year and I had a blast. I met so many cool people. I got to see some of my like TikTok mutuals in real life for the first time. And I just think that the TikTok community, the cosplay community specifically, we can make so many beautiful relationships and we can make the most out of something that isn't like the greatest thing. So I think that's something that is a positive.
When I was first cosplaying, everyone was like so open, it was happy. People were like very expressive and open to giving advice. More is like more closed in and more people are like to themselves and it's different reasons. Most definitely, like some do it for privacy reasons, some do it for safety. I definitely believe that the community has gotten worse over the 5 years, but it's slowly trying to come out of that little toxic state. So Yeah, it's changed, but I think it's trying to get better. It's been more brought to people's awareness of how bad it became over COVID. And they're definitely trying to make a difference, which is I'm very glad about, because I will want for people who were like me just now coming into it to be more welcomed by people. Uh, I believe they're doing a good thing by making people aware of either dangerous people or certain cons or just tips in general to give to others. So I believe it's a great start to doing it.